episode is brought to you by historical figures who need your help. So please, welcome to your stage, your yegDND historical crew.
All right, come this way. We're into the summoning hall where we can finally talk to the ancient ghosts.
They're all here. They're early. I guess they had nothing better to do.
They were pre-summoned, I guess.
Someone must have left the summoning on overnight.
Yes.
It's better for the servers.
That's true.
The rune is right here. It's on.
I can hear it humming even.
Yes.
It's got better.
It's evened out. Hang on. Let me. Yeah, that's good.
All right.
Steven.
My fellow historians, we are here gathered to, reconstitute what we know of the ancient lands.
Yes, the history is all gone. We have to recount it.
Yeah, when the library burned down, what are you going to do? We gotta remember it. We gotta ask the ghosts of the ancients to help us out.
Indeed. Well, what we should have done was remember to respond when the museum also burned down.
Yeah. The library was a backup to the museum.
Yes. Also, the archives froze over.
It's been a year.
It's been a minute.
What a wild summer.
Yes.
I like talking with ghosts better.
Well, that's why we brought you along.
Hello, ghosts. Hi, you're all.
Nice to meet you.
Well, ghosts.
You have all lived in this realm at one point or another. You, of course, are I have to venture, I guess, maybe 10, 15 years deceased, a modern resident of this land. You, of course, an ancient centurion of some kind, died thousands of years ago in the plains of battle by your stature, undoubtedly cowering, hiding, perhaps. Let's make a judgment call, but...
Ignore the judgment. Sorry, you can't help how you've been in your life. You're here now.
The older ones smell like cinnamon.
Well, that's how you can tell the age of a ghost, is how much like cinnamon they smell like?
Yes, that's the point of necromancy, is it's all in the nose.
Well, very good. Well, I think we need to get on with learning about this land. We have our scribe and our cartographer who's going to be setting up for us. Just so you know, ghosts, this is what he normally does.
Yes, this is his job. His own tablet, stone tablet for prescribing magical illusions.
I'm going to be etching into it, and because of magic, you can see it there.
I don't think we need to explain to these ghosts how magic works.
I think it's pretty clear. Well, once again, my name is Zacharias, the explorer extraordinaire, and we need a little bit of a starting point. We're going to go to the northwest part of the map, hopefully here, and I need a reminder. What is the biome? You know what a biome is? It's kind of like an environment. What's the biome of the northwest part of the map? I can't quite recall.
It's a snowy biome outside, but it was something else.
Desert.
Tropical.
Was it desert or was it tropical?
It was like a tropical desert.
It had elements of both.
Yeah.
A desert with oases. Yes.
Smells like tropical punch.
You're really tapping into that. I did not know much about necromancy. This is good to know.
The senses are exceptional. No.
Yes. I recall now. Oh, you can like feel the heat of the desert in here.
The northwest tropical desert. You can feel it. Like the wind carries with it humidity, so it'll be like all dry and like 1 second, and you just get hit with this hot, dank gust of wet wind.
And of course it stays dry everywhere because the ground itself has just elements of like of fire elemental power in them. So it's just ever so hot, so like the water can't stay really in most spots.
In fact, it steams up. It's got like steamy geyser vents, which is what makes it so humid at times. And you gotta be like, don't step there.
But of course, some merchants that have to, cross this desert, they like to find these geysers, and they'll like kind of like set up like a little box, kind of like the like ice fishing, but it's different.
Oh yeah, but it's like a hot box. There's a hot box.
They get a little hot box together, And then,
I wouldn't know.
and then they wear their robes and, you know, they talk about philosophy and all that stuff.
And when they take the hot boxes and put them over the geysers, they're launched into the air and across the land in front of the 3 suns that shine on this tropical oasis.
It's 3 suns of the northwest. Can't forget that.
To be fair, 2 of them are not the actual sun, they're just 2 stars that kind of like float very close to the land.
All suns are stars. You can tell because they smell the same.
She's really into smell, I did not realize this.
They're all in the necromancy.
Well, of course.
What? Oh, no, you of course, of course.
Oh, no.
You've got, of course, I've got a question.
So, of course, I need to be reminded, in this land, there may not be a lot of people. People traverse it and it's dangerous. But we are going to actually have, we need to kind of go to these divination
Consult the divine runes!
and this will be to determine how dangerous it is to traverse in terms of monsters. Is it?
The hostility of the land.
Yes.
On a scale of 1 to 20.
If one of the spirits in this room could channel their power into this divining stone for us.
All right. 1 is like really dangerous. 20 is safe. 13. So somewhere in the middle. So you gotta be careful.
Yeah, fine.
Mindfully. Generally, it's safe.
But there are many elementals, many methods, many yegDNDs,
Oh,
many earth and fire elementals. I'm going to stand over here now.
I'm going to cross to this side.
I'm going to just kind of shift along the back a little bit. Okay.
Ooh, thinking of these elements, it does remind me, the name of this desert was the Cinder Grit Desert.
Cinder Grit.
Yes.
Does that sound right, Stoneyard? Of course.
Yeah, of
Cinder
course.
Grit.
They're nodding gently.
Great. A great name for the desert.
And of course, if you are to travel across this land, if you stick to the roads, you're going to be safe. However, if you wander too much off the main roads, that's when, you know, these yegDNDs might come and get you. The methods.
Those yegDNDs are a fierce creature, to be sure.
Oh, that's because the main roads. The roads are not marked by a traditional road that you would be built out. This is correct.
It's not just, you know, passing down walking.
It's got like these giant posts that mark the way with like little flags and everything. And if you can go from post to post, you'll be fine. And when the sand kicks up.
Yes, the air travel by box is only for the very rich. Everyone else travels by coast.
It costs extra to put bags on top of the box.
I remember with my ears and with my nose, a common, ordinary day, traveling the road as one who is not rich.
From house to house.
Building! Sick. I'm gonna get this medicine to those kids in no time. Take that, desert. Jeremy,
Sensoria.
I see that we are at an impasse, both of us trying to go by coast.
And you're on that, you're in my way. I can't get around you.
Or are you in my way?
Sensoria, we always have this consultation every week. Let's just get on, you know? I'll do what I have to do. Oh, we have a traffic jam now.
Are you guys gonna settle your weekly post dispute the way you always do? I brought popcorn. Watch.
Yes, we shall. It was just about to do it.
All right, well, put your hands out.
This is great. Of all the theaters in all of the desert of...
Try to push me off, huh?
Oh, it's
You can only touch my hands.
They're each standing on posts. tippity tops of posts. Oh.
I gotta get this medicine to these kids! Enjoy the gale of thirst, chum. I love this one. It's very violent.
Yeah, it's too bad if you fall down. Like, you probably don't die because it's like kind of like it's soft sand. You know soft sand. You know how sand's made.
But it is very hot, of course.
You're correct.
So hot. In waves of dry and wet, but always hot. So, sorry, for my own recollections, what precisely again is a gale of duel? It's like a rock guy?
Yeah.
But not a rock golem.
No, a rock golem is like designed and built up. A gale of dirt. This is a pretty good actor.
It made self-made, right? Like it's its own thing. It wasn't built into a construct. So one's a rock golem, one's an indie rock golem.
Yeah. Yeah, that's correct.
Thank you for lovely map. Alton, that was your name?
Yes.
Alton Ridge, Alton.
Alton Erstwhile, but the last name's not as important.
Wonderful! This is a lovely map, Alton Erstwhile. You've done well as our scribe. And you smell like peppermint. Shall we move on to our next bio?
We have plenty here to recall. Should we ever need to venture to the posts of
That took up
Cinder
more than just one corner.
Oh, that's fine.
What? It takes up a long. Look, if you have 2 stars floating above your desert, it's going to be a big desert.
And
It's gonna shrink a little bit because I can scale etchings on this rock.
Vectorize that root stone, baby.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Okay.
Oh,
Well.
well, I mean, yeah, so we've obviously got the north, never need soggy arenas, northeast, but the southwest.
Wait. Do
No.
you know your directions?
I've been all hopped up on the healing potion.
I also put a compass right there.
There it is.
So we're going to look at the southeast. I believe is what you meant. That's
Yes,
what
it
you
is.
meant.
That's southeast. I got you. Let's not dwell on it.
But wait.
Yes. In the southeast, in this part, I can smell the pages of history, and it smells like potash?
Potash.
Yes, and sand that blows in. But it's not a desert. What biome is it? Forest. It is a forest.
Oh, of course, like a jungle. If memory recalls, it is a dense forest that gets more jungle-line as you go on. Southeast!
Yeah, it transitions from one to the other. Yeah.
Yes. The smell of damp foliage is everywhere. It's like everything is growing and also rotting, and also growing and also rotting, and then growing on top of the rot. It's phenomenal.
And of course, this smell, you can smell the rot in the air, but it's also got the most beautiful flowers.
Oh, the flowers of this forest jungle, absolutely. These flowers are incredible. They bloom in rainbows of color. There's no two that are exactly alike. I can't think of any other phenomenon in nature where the not two of them are. It's completely unique to this ground.
Yeah, I don't think it's rocks. Rocks are always the same.
Rocks are all the same.
So are snowflakes.
Oh, snowflakes, there it is.
Oh, there we go. Well, in this jungle with the flowers that are all over, they have adventurers that will go in and collect these flowers for potions.
Rife with adventurers.
Perhaps for dyes.
Dyes, flowers, treasures untold, lost by the adventurers that went there to get the potions and died, and then died.
Now, ghosts, this is your land. We are recreating the map of your homeworld. What sort of morality did the inhabitants of this forest have? Were they very lawful, or were they very chaotic? Were they very altruistic? Were they very selfish? Someone give me an alignment.
Chaotic good.
They are chaotic good. Fantastic.
Chaotic
They are chaotic good.
what are the kind of people that, the different peoples that live in this land?
I mean, elves, obviously. That's just the beginning.
Oh yeah, they love elves. They
There's
love
another very specific one, another fey creature, like one of the wild animal-eyed ones, like some kind of awe, what other sort of creature lives in this realm? Obviously humans and elves.
Like think of even a common animal. I'm sure it's a common animal that's just like weird.
I don't know. That's a chick. What?
If it says something with an R, and I believe Rooster starts with R.
Well, it certainly does. I was thinking centaur, minotaur, but you know what?
Yeah, Roostar! Yeah, of course, it's got the...
It's like a hippogriff, but it's a horse and a rooster.
Hold on! What half of the creature is the horse and what half is the rooster?
I think that's a sliding scale.
So the head is the rooster and then how much of it goes down is the horse?
Yes, on a scale on 5% intervals.
So if it's a high number, that means it's more rooster.
Sure.
And if it's a low number, it's a lot of horse.
Mostly horse.
Who would like to roll?
The monster manual was written by the winners. Love it.
Perfectly average. I love it. Perfectly half rooster, half a horse.
Did we expect any less?
And maybe there's both kinds, because if it's perfectly split in the middle, you will have the ones that like have the horse legs with the roosters. But then you'll also have the rooster bottom with like just a big old floppy horse head.
Oh, yes.
I guess this is what that looks like. Yes.
They're made for food more than
Oh, they are food, they are pack animals, they are pets. They're the main exports of this region.
They can't be driven by roosters, both of the major and minor variety.
Major and minor roosters.
No.
And they're very chaotic.
Oh yes. Well, you don't want to run into a wild rooster.
No.
You frequently need guides to go with you if you're going to go into these jungles.
Zacharias, you're a well-traveled individual. Have you encountered these at any point in your expeditions?
It's Zacharias.
Zacharias, sorry.
Thank
Never
you.
got my name, so you know.
And of course, I have encountered them. There's a unique approach you have to handle a rooster, and it's taught well in these lands.
Let me see your memories!
An elven guide machetes his way through the dense thickets of vines that fill up the darkest, dankest jungly waters. Easy. I've got some bird seed here for you. Oh no, you'd rather an apple, wouldn't you? Yes, there you go. I've given you all the oats and apples and seeds I have. Oh, there's more if you want that. I'm gonna have to climb this tree. I hope everyone following me in my expedition knows to climb the tree also.
Where's the rest of the expedition and where's our guide?
Get in the trees, friends! Oh, poor sweet Penelope! She was not ready for their chaotic energy.
They certainly were. What a wonderful way to live your life. In the trees, hiding from roosters.
Well, the nice thing about a roostar's beak, you can put those onto the end of arrows, and they'll actually pierce through even the toughest dragon scale.
In this land of chaos and roosters and flowers unique and potions was called Amaranthine.
Amaranth?
The Amaranthine.
It's coming back to me, yes.
One other question, historians. We've mentioned there were elves and humans, as well as forest and jungle. Was one in one particular? Were they split among the two?
In the way that you can have an elf, and you can have a human, and then of course, a half-elf. There is a junction where the forest is not quite jungle, and the jungle is not quite forest, and perhaps...
I know I've started to draw that a little bit. If you can tell between the circles with sticks and the wider ovals with two sticks.
If memory serves, and please, ghosts, correct me if I'm wrong, I see we have both a human and an elf from this region with us, so please correct me. But the humans are more of the forest-dwelling, lumberjack, human-y types, and the denser you go, the more elven and fey the creatures get. Does that sound about right? Of course it does, I'm an expert.
Well done, Dorian.
Thank you. And thank you for introducing me, Seraphine.
Yes. Now what is our next bio? Tell me I must smell it.
Humble Village. Sorry, what was that, Ghost? Humble Village.
And what sort of earth is this humble village on?
Mountainous.
Water.
Ooh.
Oh, it is a humble village of water! And it smells like an orange.
Oh yes, of course! Of course! It was like suburbia, but also wet.
The massive coral structures rose straight out of the sea. I can smell it so clearly. Coral.
And so they have these corals that build up and sometimes are very big. It's kind of like a large sea, I suppose. And you have different islands of coral that go up. And around the base of the coral as it meets the water, this is where villages are built up into them.
Humble villages built on these coral islands.
And all of the coral was different colors. Green, orange, pink, chartreuse,
Fuchsia.
cerulean.
Purple is a color.
Taupe coral. I want to see that.
And as these different villages are kind of spread out amongst the islands, it could be this thing, if you live in one town, say the politics don't go your way, that's fine. Just go over to another coral island.
They count by population.
It's true.
Yes, and densely populated it is. These, as we mentioned, these are humble villages, these are suburbias of a sort, dense with people. But what kind of people inhabit these? What creatures inhabit these most?
Gnomes, merfolk.
Gnomes and merfolk?
Let's get a gnome.
Yes, that's
Merfolk.
Merfolk.
the same thing. I appreciate it. It's a few hundred years apart in your date of deceased.
Yeah.
The gnomish merfolk. Yes, precisely.
They are this big.
They've got gills underneath their big bushy beards.
They tend to be like, wiry little creatures. They are both capable of climbing up the coral itself, or the coral villages can also go underwater itself. Let's see.
Oh, webbed feet.
Webbed feet everywhere.
Webbed feet. What was that? 200 evolutions ago, they've got little webs between their arms and legs. Full-on fins when they want.
That means they would kind of swim around like weird manta ray gnome things.
Don't call it weird. That's very check your human privilege.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Gnome things.
And they come in colors as varied as the coral itself.
But they still have the common gnomish curiosity of building contraptions and inventions where they're even
Yes. Some of their contraptions, submersibles, help them go even deeper than they could normally go with their aquatic features.
You can go up and out! Amazing.
They even have it's not there yet, but they have the rudimentary understanding of what could possibly one day lead to what I've heard is called hydroelectricity. Sounds like a dream to me.
When they're rudimentary in that a lot of water wheels, big
Yes.
spinning wheels, turning cranks to grind, the various sort of seaweeds that they eat and like a mill.
And of course, a love of the simplicity of life. You will not find roaring factions amongst these peoples because they simply leave. They just move. If they don't like what's going on, they just leave and go somewhere else. Which means it's time to find out, at this point in history, which of these coral villages has the highest population? Let's roll. Roll the runic stone.
So what's the stipulation for the numbers? The high number would be...
Yeah, now I've suddenly remembered. There were 4 of these, not 3, so it would be a nice even split among a number divisible by 4.
Amazing. Dividing numbers by 4 smells like a
Oh,
plane. A grass plane. Who would like to roll the runic stone? Fantastic. Oh, yes. We thank you for taking time away from your eternal slumber. 3!
That's 3.
Which means it will be this one.
And why is that significant?
Well, because 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 of them.
So why is it important that this one's the most important?
Because that is the pink coral one.
Come on!
Play with me in this game.
Also, its proximity to the land makes it a hub of trade between the rest of the sea and all of the land-dwelling provinces.
There's your answer.
Yes.
Well, of course, if you have the pink coral group right there, pink trade.
No, it's
Keep going. We don't need to. Let the magician work.
it says trade hub.
Trade hub. Okay, very good.
What you got me?
Now they've been training, sending boats. The people who are not gnomes have to send boats in through this area, and that's what's maybe the big issue is that these boats coming through disrupt the waters, and it bothers some of the more the bigger monsters that would attack.
Yes, impacts the sea life.
Yes. What kind of a monster? What would be what kind of sea monster could you see? Whether it's like a real animal that is more fantastical, or whether it's just a
Favorite page from the monster manual.
yes, it's kind of a sea monster.
Kraken.
A kraken?
I heard Kraken, or did I hear?
I like it. Oh right, the big coral kraken.
Oh, coral Kraken. In and out of the coral, looks like coral.
Yes. Oh yeah, it's getting shit. Is that like another coral reef, or is it just a giant?
Oh, the Kraken is a false island.
Yes.
We all remember.
Yeah, like it has like that octopus-like head that would, like, if it wants, it'll pull itself out of the water.
It goes low and puts all of its crackling neat coral appendages like up, and then people build on it, and then they're like, you think you've got a new coral island, you're 100 years into your lifespan, then it's like, screw you, whole town.
That's the beauty of it. Is the Kraken plays the long game.
And I just want to note, I have remembered that coral for Kraken is also spelled with a K because it's cool.
Coral Kraken.
Oh, Kraken, yes.
It's a false island. Damn, we're good at our jobs.
Well, and just like if you live on the edge of a volcano and you see like smoke rising that the volcano might go, you don't want your island to look up at your island one day and you see giant eyes open up because you know you've done messed up.
Yes. What a beautiful, humble, quiet life that must have been.
settlement right here on Titanic Coral Island.
Hey, Jupiter!
Sorry, I can't hear you over all the bubbles.
Hey, Jupiter! You noticing a lot of bubbles?
Sure am. Kennedy.
Well,
Looks like you got something big.
The whole island begins to shift up. The tentacles are flailing about, smacking fishing boats aside.
Water wheels torn asunder as suction cups burst through their wooden spokes.
This whole, what was a warehouse is now a tentacle with a warehouse fist.
Now they say warehouse.
on that little dock, we see the little submarine with Jeremiah and Jeremiah. Well, we had a good run. Good thing we can swim and breathe underwater.
Good thing indeed. See you at the Blue Island, I
Here's
guess.
the Blue Island. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Weird manta ray swimming.
Yes! How amazing to never fear the dangers there because you can just leave.
One last question, Stories. We've noted that there was mainly a pink coral island and a blue coral island. What color were the other two?
Well, there was a blue one.
Dark blue.
There's pink,
Blue,
blue.
pink, blue.
Chartreuse.
Chartreuse, of course, was the northernmost isle. It's spelled like chartreuse.
And there's one, it looks like peppermint. You know, it's like the red and white that swirl around. Not pink! Well, there's pink, but I'm saying like
What
this.
if it's green and white? That's more pepperminty.
Well, that's fine then.
There's no confusion.
It's okay, you're an adventurer, but you're colorblind. I'm colorblind, it just looks like one giant spoke. Anyways. Cool, well let's, I think we've covered
Does anyone know how to spell chartreuse?
ARTR
We're the historians. We spell how we spell it.
USC?
USE.
I'll be having a word with Miss Miriam Webster shortly. I decide how things are spelled.
Well, let's, what's the name of these, of this humble coral villages, this group?
I think Coral Islands is a collective.
They're Coral Islands,
Coral Islands. That checks out.
and then each individual one.
The Coral Island Collective.
The Coral Island Collective!
CIC, that's still, yes.
They make wonderful music.
Oh.
The Coral Island Collective.
Oh, I love
Oh, yeah!
the Coral Island Collective!
Because maybe they take certain areas of coral and like they can blow into it and like, it's like a giant horno.
Yeah, also drums. They just
Ah!
play 'em. Guitars, lutes, all the instruments.
Wonderful.
What's that song from? What's that song from the Coral Island Collective? So can we? I think we all know it, like the big one. The big one we all know.
It's the one song, you know, by the, right.
Coral Island Collective. It's like the anthem of the whole region.
Right.
I don't even think we need to sing the words. I think we can all hear it in our heads. Islands, let's go to the
Coral Islands.
Watch out for the false Kraken Islands. Go to the Coral
Islands. Okay, excellent.
It's called Beware the Kraken Island. Yes.
I was ready to go into all of those too, but that's fine. That's fine.
We only, there's one space left on our map.
One space.
Of course. And we've had desert, we've had the forest and jungle, we've had the shallow seas. Now, up in the northeast, we all know that it's to be mountains. It's just a vague mountain range.
Process of elimination.
The process of if you don't have, if you already have seas and jungles and forests, giant mountains are left. And these mountains, they are relatively new mountains, so they're high and jagged.
And they smell like ointment.
That's kind of weird.
Like a salve. Like something where you're like, that doesn't smell natural, but it somehow is.
Like Vicks Vapor Rub?
Yes! Exactly like that. And you're like, ugh, I don't care
but it's still like, it seems comforting because it reminds you of home.
Yes. It's like, I don't care for this sort of cleaning product, but I know it is clean here, so that's a comfort. But these mountains smell like clean and
Well, that's on account of how brutally lawful these mountains are.
Of course. They have, there's like a complex where they like mix chemicals together. It's kind of like the largest alchemical gathering of dwarves and humans, and that make these cleaning products.
Yes, dwarves known for their alchemy, specifically cleaning. Love it.
yes.
Dwarven alchemists.
Now I forget. Was there just one sort of expansive rulership, or what was the government like here? Can we use the rune stone to roll? And it'll be a scale of 1 is a complete autocracy, dictatorship, and then 20 is complete perfect democracy. We would like, with like oligarchy in the middle.
So dictatorship on the low end, democracy on the high. Perfect!
Nine.
A nice 9.
So there's
A plutocracy oligarchy. Very capitalistic.
I love Shakespeare.
Yes.
But again, they're very lawful. The rules of the land are their rules, and they are enforced.
Yes.
Strict rigidity.
Yes.
And of course, the punishment is not that you're sitting in a jail cell. That's boring. No. There's chemicals to be made.
Yes.
If you are a dwarf, you get sent in, and you have the breathing masks, and you have to like.
So did you say if you're a dwarf, you get sent in?
If
You're a criminal. Come on, man. Don't be
a
so.
criminal, yeah, but they also have good constitution. They can actually survive in there. But if you're a criminal, you have to spend the most time by these terrible chemicals, and it makes your beard fall out. It's the greatest shame that a dwarf can feel.
What are the? So I mean, again, so that they punish criminals. All the criminals of the realm get sent here, like
For the worst part.
for the worst part of it, to work in the chemical mines
Yeah, the refineries.
or refineries.
Giant frozen lake in the middle.
Yes.
Giant frozen lake.
Is that how you died, Fred?
Yes.
Is that bad ice fishing trip?
Precisely. And so this whole place, it smells. You can smell that cleaning liquids. You'll see all the townships along the way making different variations on it. We're standing on the frozen lake now. We gotta be careful.
So you said there are many townships in along the way on the paths that lead through the mountains?
Yeah, the various small paths you'll see, like because you gotta have good ventilation if you're gonna have a bunch of chemical mountains.
Oh, that's okay. I like that. What if? I mean, this is a fact. The reason they need ventilation is that's why they do it up the mountains. So the air is purer the higher up the mountains you go. All that gross chemical stink, like
It sinks.
sinks. What is that? Yes. So it smells nice, like our colleague here was describing up at the top, clean and elevator-y and tasty. And you go down, it's much more like what's one of those smells that like a mechanical smell, what was the word like sulfur and asphalt. Grease, rubber, that awful part of Canadian Tire, the back part that smells.
Indeed, and of course, we're going to talk about the creatures that kind of roam this land. You always
You mean that's so frightful?
Oh, it's awful, especially like the mountain goats.
Yes.
Mountain goats are normally very kind and gentle, and they live on the side of mountains. However, some of these goats.
I hear them now. This is my homeland, you see, and I'm terribly afraid of the mountain goats.
Because some of the mountain goats they've taken in some of these alchemical kind of mixtures. And so you'll have different, and for some reason the goats just absorb it a lot more. And sometimes you'll just have giant, meaty, powerful goats that can like burst through a mountain.
And the chemicals, they build and they grow out into their horns, giving their horns bright shining colors.
Nightmares of my childhood!
And they're very swole. They've got beefy forearms.
They kind of act like termites. If you have mountain goats, you are screwed. You're gonna have to get the exterminators in there.
They are also perfectly used in battle if they can be tamed enough.
Fierce warrior mounts indeed.
Especially since their horns, they're chemically altered. So like if they jab you, it's like an acid. It like burns you and like
Bludgeoning and acid damage. No, say it so!
And you might think that this is a bleak place to live, but oh no, it's not. It's a fantastical place to live because they have jousting with these horrible goats.
You say that this is a good thing?
Yes!
Well, of course.
For me, anyways. I can't speak for everyone, but I think it's wonderful.
I actually, like I said, this was me, Dorian Borian, the expert lawkeeper. I came from this land, and my father was a jouster, actually. That's how we lost him. But he died fighting a noble joust for one of the mountain kings. What was the mountain king's name? Dumbest, quickest name you can think of. Shout it out.
Scott.
Scott!
King Scott. King Scott of the Ebony Peak.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peaks.
It's spelled S-K-A-W-T.
S-K-A-W-T.
Yeah.
Go back to the moment of this amazing job. Everyone is in attendance and they're all King Scott, King Scott, King Scott, King Scott, King Scott, King Scott. King Scott.
Okay. Oh. Stable boy, you have my mighty mountain goat ready so that I may impress King Scott. I, Dorian's father, who will be named Dorian's father.
Of course I tried to get it ready. It's a little ornery. I tried to feed him.
With acid.
Yes. It means he's ready to go. But you know, he seems to have like a little bit of a limp. You know, like you can see the muscles.
Yes.
So muscular. Swole. He had leg day.
Sick gains, Buttercup. Sick gains.
I mean, to be fair, all exercise is leg day for
Yes,
that reason. But you can see it's a little tender, so it's gonna kind of like drift to the left a little bit.
Oh. Drift to the left, but this is a jousting to go straight on to my opponent. In victory!
Well, of course. Well,
I don't want to disappoint my son, my wee baby son.
it's a point of honor in our culture for you to be able to get up on this goat, go on the very narrow bridge that connects the two mountains.
Yes.
You joust each other.
We all know that the jousts happen between two mountain peaks for peak fucking awesomeness.
Of course. It's just you know, assume and believe that your goat can stay on the straight and narrow path.
Say you're not the usual stable boy. I don't recognize you.
Oh, it's just my first day.
Oh, I believe that wholesale. I'm an NPC. I don't get to roll an insight check.
That's right. Well, please get on here.
Time is wasting. I don't want to disappoint King Scott or my wee baby son.
Yes, you don't want to disappoint King Scott.
We go to the joust. My memory is fuzzy. I don't recall whether or not Dorian's father wins or loses. Shall we let your memory decide? Who would like to roll?
This.
I will let you go first.
Sorry, please roll for me in the future of this land.
Please roll for this other opponent, who I shall call the Oxy Cleaner.
Well then. A natural 20.
I shall win this joust for Scott and my sweet baby boy and live to tell the tale.
And for the Oxy Cleaner at 16, I'm unnamed and you don't care about me. Therefore I will lose.
Hold on a second. I thought I understood that your father died.
He did win that day, but, well, you'll see what happened on account of the nefarious characters he was dealing with at the beginning. Alright, I'm the guardian. Alright, Buttercup, just stay right with me. Literally, don't stay on the right and left.
I don't speak. I regret nothing!
Lands into the lake, which kind of hurts because it is a frozen lake.
Ouch! Oh, I was frozen in this.
Oh, that's how that guy died! There he is!
Oh, it was him!
Then I won the day! Dorian's fathers, King Scott, King Labibal, all my adoring fans. Well, I'm going to go to my secluded dressing room now.
Oh, heck, I don't mind me. I was just in your dressing room.
You're not the king that I hired.
Nah. King Scott sends his regards, though.
I got jousted in the end.
Capitalism.
Well,
My poor father, I need a smoker.
but at least he lived with honor. Everybody knew he won that day. He should have been the rightful.
Ruler of one of the mountains, yes, and that is why I was left to become but a humble lawkeeper. Dorian, the clever lawkeeper.
Instead of
Dorian,
Lorian, the Lord.
the Lord of the yes.
You know,
Give returns on my stupid name, it's fine. Speaking of stupid names, what is this place called?
well, I think it's pretty clear.
Oh, the Enemy Peak?
Oh, I thought that was the one mountain.
That's the one.
The one mountain.
You recall? I don't recall.
It is called the Scrubbers.
The Scrubber Mountains.
Yes.
Just the scrubbers, like the Alps, but the
Yes.
scrubbers.
But yeah, basically it looks like it's like a brush that you have upside down if you were to look at all the little
Yeah.
mountain peaks. So it's
And it is hard and abrasive like steel wool because the Scrubbers.
Scrubbers.
I love them.
the Scrubber Mountains. Well, very good. Well, I mean, this of course all comes together then.
I love this land so much.
Yeah, I mean, between over here where you have your merchants who are coming from like far off lands to, you know, traverse and go down to the oceans here, or the coral islands.
Look at the history we have recounted this night.
Amazing.
Thank you. What excellent work you ghosts have done. Thank you.
Woo!
We now have to tell future stories.
The coral islands.
We've got the Cinder Grit Desert. We've got Amaranthine and the Scrubber Mountains, aka the Scrubbers.
So many stories will be told in this region in the coming years.
My
And
goodness, we forgot to recount what the actual region's name was.
Oh, that's obvious. It's bullshit.
But I mean, and it's all because of all the different things together. Up here, it's hot boxes for the rich, and you know, trade and being careful. Down here, you gotta be careful of the Kraken showing up.
But collectively, what's it called?
You gotta be careful of all the chemicals that's in the frozen lake.
but nothing is as it seems in this land. Everything goes deeper. Everything is intricate and complex. Everything fits together in a delicate balance.
And that's why the name of the land is Miragia.
Yes.
You can't trust anything.
Oh.
Well, ghosts of Miragia, we thank you for disturbing your eternal slumber to be here with us. I apologize that your archive and your library and your museum all burned down and then froze and then fell over and sank into the swamp. But we'll build it again and that will also burn down, fall over and sink into the swamp. And we'll build it a third time. And that one
We have a troubled land.
Troubled land indeed. Many stories will be told right here in the Hall of Historians.
I'm sorry. I got very excited because we're going to take this all and it's all going to go into a book, a history, and the last thing we need is the title for that history.
So we need an adjective that you would describe something like a grand hero.
The blank history of Miragia. Fill in the blank.
Sorry?
Smelly.
Sure, Charma, we need adjectives. It's your last chance.
Grand.
Grand, good. I feel we can do grander.
Splendiferous.
Splendiferous means been done.
Glorious.
Glory, I mean, I'm a proud Miragian boy.
What about smelly? No, glorious.
Glorious.
Glorious history.
Napoleon.
I think we got it on glorious, but I appreciate your enthusiasm.
Perfect.
So you were doing something dramatic, and I want to hear you try one more time.
Oh, I just said the glorious history of Miragia. It's scratch and sniff.
Indeed, well, we've done exceptional work here.
Yeah.
friends.
I believe we should all depart to write down history in full depth. Thank you, ghosts, for joining us. We will now disperse you into the ether. As the light fades of your spectral light fades. Spectral light.
It smells less and less like cinnamon.